And good afternoon. This is Coach Big Pete of Deep Dish Football. It's time to start the pregame analysis for this whole week. Start the Deep Dish Football game of the week, Oswego East. We're going to start with Oswego East versus Minooka. Start with Oswego East Wolves. Season so far, 2017 season, and it's looking good. Only one loss to Oswego. Same as Minooka. Minooka lost to Oswego too. 6-1, riding high, playing Minooka, homecoming game at Oswego East. You got to give them a little bit of an advantage for that one. But right now, they're doing good. And we go for this a little bit. They beat Juliet West, beat Romeoville, beat Juliet Central, Plainfield South, win for them. Their big game, they had two big games. Plainfield North, they won. Great game for them to win, especially Plainfield North. I think they were semifinal losers to Fenwick. They lost to Oswego, but came back last game. Plainfield Central in an easy win by Oswego East. Now they're looking good. They got Minooka, and then next they finish off with Plainfield East for their last game of the season. They look good to get into the playoffs. Of course, well, they already clinched the playoffs, but team looks good. They had a few star seniors graduate last year, but the majority of their players are back and at a youthful spot where they have a good group of juniors that look great for Coach LeBlanc and his staff for next year in 2018. So again, it's a very, very strong year for Oswego East. The main thing will be what they do in the playoffs because that's going to be key. And they had an exit last year in the playoffs, and this is another year for Oswego East that could do some damage. I do think we have to look towards their offensive line. They've got a great offensive line, especially with their seniors at offensive line. I think that's been a huge thing. I also think that the play of their secondary is unmatched. Their play of their secondary is unmatched for Oswego East. I think the key thing against the Minooka that's going to be talked about, that I'll talk about a lot, is basically don't play into their hands. Use your speed against Minooka, and you can win the game. That's all. That's all that really matters, especially against this. And Minooka is a surprise team too, and I'll talk about that for the Minooka team preview. They're the surprise team because they had a new head coach. They were 4-5 last year. Minooka's doing big things, but Oswego East, again, I've said it's the future school in the state of Illinois. You have a lot of talented moving out west to that Oswego area that is going to Oswego East and even Oswego High School, as I've mentioned in Yorkville and that whole Kendall County area. But the main thing is that those coaches and what that coaching staff has done for that team from these past years, and using that school as a building block right now for that program, they could be talked about as well being a very young powerhouse that's still growing. But again, they're doing a hell of a job doing it. I mean, you got players at Antoine Walker, BJ Graves. I'll talk about the roster in the next video about Oswego East, but they look good. Ian Cromer, a bunch of guys. And again, I'd like to make a mention. I do not acknowledge injuries. I do not talk about high school player injuries. Just to let you just saying, okay? So if a player is injured and they say, Coach, I'm injured, I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to talk about it. Simple as that. I think it's wrong to talk about a minor's injury. So, but the season so far is looking really, really strong. They had one loss to rival Oswego. They came back against Plainfield Central. Now, 6-1, they clinch a playoff spot. Now they got a big game against Minooka. Oswego has both 2 wins over Oswego East and Minooka. So it's going to be very vital that they stay in that race. But we'll see what happens. And I think Oswego lost one game. I think it was the Plainfield. No, not Oswego lost to Plainfield North, if I'm not mistaken, or I forget which team they lost to. But again, it's going to be key and vital that Oswego East wins this game. This is a must-win for Oswego East and Minooka. That's what makes this game special. So week 8, Deep Dish Football, the game of the week, Oswego East versus Minooka. more talk. I'm going to talk about the roster, magic numbers, everything else. Keep it here, Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football. Follow it on Twitter. Follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook. Please go to deepdishfootball.com. If you like my work, go on the right hand section. Feel free to leave a tip towards my work. We'll be there Friday night. It's going to be a good game, and I also will be at the Oswego East and Minooka sophomore game. Should be a hell of a game.